Hi everyone. We all want to have higher levels of testosterone because it makes feel you better, more energetic, helps you build more muscle in the gym. There are tons of benefits from having higher levels of testosterone circulating in your body. But apart from injecting testosterone, there are natural ways to improve it. In this video I'm going to tell you how it is possible to raise your testosterone levels naturally without using any banned PED. So let's start. Probably you may have heard it from some older bodybuilder that you must do squats, deadlift, and other heavy compounds movements because they boost testosterone more than lightweight exercises or machine exercises. Well, this is true. It's long been established that resistance exercise increases serum concentrations of hormones like testosterone, growth hormone, and foundational research from the 1990s and early 2000s led by Dr. Kramer showed that so the more muscle mass is involved in an exercise, the more you boost your testosterone. So make sure to incorporate these exercises into your routine, not only because they boost test, but also because they are great for building more muscle and strength. In fact, it is important to point out this: by using these exercises you're not growing because of the increase in testosterone, but you're growing because you're providing a stimulus to your muscle, using progressive overload. In the current scientific literature, as more recent data from researchers of McMaster University concluded that exercise increases hormones levels, but these hormones cannot be used as proxy markers for hypertrophic potential in humans. If you just look at some of their data, it's clear that despite the fact that testosterone did increase with the training protocol that emphasized high intensity and large muscle masses, there was no difference in muscle protein synthesis between the groups. And just keep in mind that the increases in testosterone were acute, meaning they didn't get elevated from the training and stay elevated. They simply spiked up and then came back down after an hour, which seems almost definitely not enough of a chronic hormonal shift to do much for muscle growth. So as I was reading this, I started to wonder how much of an increase you'd need to see gains from it. So let's talk some numbers. According to the 2017 paper, a harmonized normal range of testosterone for healthy non-obese American and European men aged 19 to 39 years old is 264 to 900 nanograms per deciliter. And it's not clear if increasing testosterone naturally within this range will do much in the way of increasing muscle mass. However, we do know that increasing it through exogenous testosterone supplementation does increase muscle mass. In fact, it might increase muscle mass better than training alone does. A landmark 1996 paper published in the New England Journal of Medicine split 40 men into 4 groups. Group 1 trained naturally. Group 2 took 600 milligrams of testosterone every week and weight trained. Group 3 took 600 milligrams of testosterone every week, but did not weight training. And Group 4 was the placebo group. They didn't train or get injection of testosterone. Some of the results of this study were pretty shocking. The group that injected testosterone and trained, unsurprisingly, got the most gains, and the placebo group saw the worst gains. However, what may surprise some people is that the group injecting 600 milligrams of testosterone per week without training achieved greater increase in muscle mass than the natural and training group. A thing to point out is that the training used was not optimal, so if the training was better designed, the results may have favored the trained and natural group more. However, based on this study alone, what we can say is that testosterone really works. However, just look at the scale of increase. We're talking about here at baseline the concentrations were just around 500, and after 10 weeks of weekly injections they were up around 3,000 nanograms per deciliter, which is an enormous increase. It's even greater than the acute changes you've seen from altering training methods, which only lasts acutely. Anyway, but what I really wanted to know was, would going from 600 to say 1,000 milligrams make any difference, or would be even better? Also, would altering these levels anywhere within the natural normal physiological range help me get more jacked? Well, the answer is maybe. In fact, it seems really likely that increasing a low testosterone level of say around 300 nanograms per deciliter or lower to the more average level like 600 nanograms per deciliter might help. But would the benefits the same moving from an average level to the higher end of the spectrum? So, since I've already cleared out the idea that acute increases around the training session does much of anything, the next thing I wanted to figure out whether there are other ways I could increase my testosterone naturally. First of all, you definitely want to avoid overtraining, because it will only cause your testosterone levels to go down, especially if you get too much volume in your training. Instead, It seems that extra intense workout doesn't have the same negative effect on testosterone concentrations. In fact, multiple studies have discovered that large increases in volume reduces testosterone, and such is the case when combining weight training with endurance training. But this doesn't mean that you have to avoid cardio and only do weight training. This is not what the study showed. The point is that you have to balance your training. So instead of doing a high-intensity weightlifting session followed by a HIIT cardio workout, do some lower to moderate cardio in order not to fatigue your body. In fact, the drop in testosterone is caused by too much stress and lack of recovery, so your body gets in a catabolic state and your cortisol levels rise too much and your testosterone sunk. It's like for bodybuilders when they enter the final weeks of contest prep. They have lower calories, keep train as hard as they can, and they do cardio in order to cut fat. And this causes a lot of stress on your body, leading them to have zero sex drive due to the low levels of testosterone. Somebody says that soy is really bad for testosterone levels because of the isoflavone contained in soy, which are compounds that bind to the estrogen receptors. However, this is not true. The most comprehensive meta-analysis on this topic, which analyzed 32 studies, came to the general conclusion that neither soy foods nor isoflavone supplements alter measures of bioavailable testosterone concentrations in man. But more to the point, it seems that the main dietary factors driving changes in testosterone are body composition and caloric intake. In a 12-month case study following a natural bodybuilder during contest prep, it was found that as his caloric intake went from 4,750 calories to 2,100 calories per day, dropping his body fat from 14.8 to just 4.5%, testosterone plummeted from 991 nanograms per deciliter to just 227 nanograms per deciliter, which was a 77% decrease. So rapid weight loss can also decrease testosterone. A 2008 study on competitive wrestlers found that just 2 to 3 weeks of caloric deficit caused a massive 62% decrease in testosterone when caloric intake was limited to 500 to 1,000 calories per day. On the other side, since overweight individuals tend to have lower testosterone in chronic overfeeding, as research has proven, there seems to be a sweet spot in terms of body fat and caloric intake that is specific to the individual, but is sitting somewhere between 10 to 15% body fat, which is good to optimize testosterone levels for most men. The macronutrient composition of the diet also seems to matter, with high-fat diets generally outperforming low-fat diet. However, it seems that total energy intake is likely the main driver of these changes, and I'm sure that as long as calories from fats are in the range of 20 to 40% of your overall caloric intake, testosterone levels can be optimized. However, keep in mind that the magnitude of these changes are relatively small, with one study showing a low-fat diet to reduce testosterone by 12% in older men, and another study showing a higher fat diet increased testosterone by 13% in young. The micronutrients composition of the diet, I'm referring to vitamins and minerals, also can affect testosterone levels, but more so in the case of deficiencies. For example, a zinc deficiency can lower testosterone. Vitamin D can also regulate testosterone levels, so depending on how much sun exposure you get, supplementation of up to 3,000 IU per day can increase testosterone. There are other supplements that generally have evidence supporting them, such as ashwagandha and HA. A study has shown a 15% testosterone increase in young healthy men. Tribulus has no evidence of benefits on testosterone levels. Other important aspects that influence testosterone are general related to your lifestyle. Factors like sleep and stress are very important. In fact, decreased sleep has been associated with decreased testosterone. A 2011 study found that reducing sleep from 8 hours to 5 hours per night for 5 days reduced testosterone by 10.4% in young men. Sleep deprivation for 33 hours straight resulted in a 27% average drop in testosterone in 24 young men. Also, sexual activity seems to play an important role in testosterone regulation. One study published in the Journal of Evolution in Human Behavior showed that simply having a 5-minute conversation with an attractive woman was able to boost testosterone by 30% in men. Other research has shown that sexual arousal from viewing pornographic films can increase testosterone secretion. Case in point. One study showed that watching a 4-minute erotic video clip before training significantly improved 3-rep max strength on the squat. So, the general advice is to have an active sexual life. In fact, Testosterone increases after an intercourse in both men and women. Other things worth mentioning that can optimize testosterone levels include practice like meditation and avoid excess alcohol consume, which has been shown to reduce testosterone. Yes, these methods will not give you the same results of injecting testosterone into your body, but if you implement several of the things discussed here, you will definitely benefit from them next time you'll go training. If you want to know more about diet and nutrition and why 95% of diets fail, check my nutrition book. I'll give you all the info you need to lose weight and keep it off for good. Hope you like the video. Don't forget to subscribe, comment, like, and share it with your friends. See you on the next one.